Hello, it's Sarah from Yunomi.life here. We are currently heading to Gifu to meet some tea farmers. We are taking the Shinkansen, of course, having some ekiben, which is a Japanese lunchbox specifically from train stations to have in the Shinkansen. And there we can see Nagoya, and we're here. And next we're heading to get a car so we can drive to Gifu. The closest connection here is usually by Shinkansen to Nagoya and then driving to Gifu Prefecture. It's kind of in the center of Japan, a very mountainous region with long history. And our first stop is actually in an area famous for Minoyaki, which is a ceramics manufacturing tradition from Gifu. And we are going to see some galleries and shops and even some people making it potentially. We found actually some kind of non-fired clay here. And there was this person, they were making a Minoyaki piece there. It was very interesting to get to follow their working process. And there were so many beautiful pieces all around this whole building too. As you can see, Minoyaki is a very varied ceramics tradition, as these plates maybe show. There's no one defining style. It is more defined by the fact that it's produced where it is produced. And the long traditions that it has in this area. It remains also one of the most used type of ceramics in Japan. Our staff, Ami and Hiroko, they are inspecting the beautiful plates. We are looking for things to sell on Yunomi.life, but also slightly looking for things we like ourselves, I think. But above all, the key is to find unique things to show in our collection and to bring to you guys. They had this gallery space and they had a very, very beautiful Japanese garden. They had just built this new factory. They held workshops as well as produced their own things here. There were some things in a clay oven too. Next, we are heading to our meeting with a tea farmer, but we needed to get some lunch, so we are having miso katsu, a specialty from Nagoya, kind of sweet, very rich miso sauce on a deep fried pork cutlet. This was delicious. Then some sceneries on the way, and we are now at Nitta Tea Farm, tea farmer in Shirakawa area of Gifu. They had a very wide collection of interesting teas, and they are also producing sweets in collaboration with various patisseries. Here we see the cannella. These were very, very delicious. They kindly gave us some. They have a long history, as you can see. There's all these prices, all these signs from different time periods. And they agreed to show their tea fields as well. And the farmer very kindly explained various things about the farm. We'll have a more in-depth video or multiple more in-depth videos about this farm specifically later. This area is very high altitude, so even it was April, Shincha, so the new leaf was not really showing up much here yet, but they were still beautiful green color. You can see the shapes of the leaves in the older tea leaves that show up now before the new leaves that will be used for this year's harvest are showing. I think by the time we are posting this, they are probably budding and soon will be harvested. But this area, according to the farmer, is one of the last Shincha harvests in Japan because of the colder temperatures and the strong changes in temperature between day and night time. Apparently, while today was a clear day, oftentimes this area is covered in mist as we are quite high up in the mountains. There were some beautiful cherry blossoms still, while in Tokyo, where our office is, it's not blooming anymore. In the cooler mountains, it was still blooming very beautifully. And we even got the chance to see the factory. They were just roasting hojijo right now. Otherwise, the factory was not yet ready for shisha production. They will do a very deep clean, make everything clean, sparkly, before they start processing the new harvest. But right now, they had this hojijo machine set up and they were producing the hojijo. Smelled very, very lovely. And there's Ami heading out, again enjoying the cherry blossoms here. And We had to get their cakes and ice creams and puddings, all of them tea flavoured. They were very high quality, very delicious, made all with Nitta Tea Farms teas themselves. Then we are on the way to the town where we'll be staying, as it's actually quite late. We are staying in Mino. It is a town in Gifu with this old center. The nighttime footage is a bit shaky, but we had to get some dinner. We found this lovely old restaurant, apparently with quite a long history. A lot of signatures from famous people and various things on the walls. The menu was there, also the boards on the, and this is what we're having. It was a local specialty udon in this miso soup. And next morning we did a shoot under the cherry trees to get some footage for our new Yunomi matcha Minoyaki cafe, posing with matcha latte, slightly laughing at myself, and Ami is kindly taking the photo. We were lucky because actually just after this it started raining, so we headed to Minoyaki, which is a shop. They have these shops all over Japan. They always sell local produce from local farmers. Many people love traveling and going to these places while they travel in the country. All of us love that as well, so we spent some time there just enjoying what they had and grabbed some breakfast. Also, this place called Happa Stand, a local tea shop. We had some hoja latte and sencha muffins, and then spent some time actually exploring the Mino Old Town a little bit more, taking some pictures from there. Next up, we are going to Kasuga, which is another tea producing area in Gifu. We are on different side of Gifu. This is a part of the Ibi region or Ibi district, but this is very high up in the mountains. There's a mountaintop tea field area here called Machu Picchu of tea in Japan. But before we head there, we will actually visit another farm, or rather a cooperative. This is a slightly bigger factory. They produce tea themselves, but also have farmers sending raw leaf to them. They showed us their fields and factory. We are among the tea picking machines right now. And this area too is famous for having very beautiful nature, clear rivers, as you can see there. And they had very wide tea fields over here, very beautiful. It was interesting to see a slightly bigger factory and hear about how they work with everything. Then next we are heading to the mountains, and a farmer we met in Renroku Tea Farm in Kasuga in the morning. She kindly agreed to show us up to the mountain. So we started climbing up after driving a very steep hill. We are climbing and it's quite cold, so that's why Ami is running. And we are almost here. You can see the gorgeous tea fields among the mountains. And finally we are at the top. It was quite a climb, but definitely well worth it. Beautiful sceneries. And happy but tired from all the climbing, we start now heading back to Nagoya to catch our Shinkansen. The sun is setting and we're going to get some dinner. Again, more Nagoya specialties, more the udon in miso-based sauce. Then we had a bunch of other delicious foods as well. Nagoya is famous for the red miso, so we had a lot of things in red miso like oden. Then there's some Nagoya fried chicken and onigiri with Nagoya fried chicken. Delicious after a long climb. Then we are heading back to Shinkansen and heading back to Tokyo. Thank you for joining along, and we look forward to seeing you again.